Hey guys,
I'm PJ.
I'm Kelsie, aka PK and J.
Alright, Kelsie, what are we doing today?
Today we're doing a Get Ready With Me because, you know, we think we're famous.
Yeah, so why not?
We think that you people are listening to us. We're just gonna gossip today. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Some weird stories,
So honestly, we're just gonna get right into it.
Just jump in.
First, I'm gonna put my little cat ear headband on. I got this from Ulta. Wait, look at the cat ears. Oh, yeah. Focus on it. Yeah. Also, can we just, talk about how fucking cute PJ is? Like, look at her.
Girl, stop.
She looks so cute. Oh, my God. Oh.
I cannot with you.
If you couldn't guess, obviously, like always, we're high as fuck.
Retweet.
So, yeah.
Summer, but wait, where did I put my beauty blender? Did I leave it in the bathroom?
Smells like an old person.
Where's my beauty blender?
Dog, I don't know. You said not a lot of this, right?
Dude.
I enjoy this. Aw, damn it.
And I'm back. Okay.
Not sponsored.
Sponsor us, please. I drink Red Bull like crack.
We might as well just, start off big.
Yeah, dude, you might as well just talk about your EDC trip.
Okay, guys. So, as many of you may know from our other video, I'm a little raver.
Rave babe.
Rave babe. And so, I'm getting my makeup out while I do this. So, I went to EDC in 2018, aka last year. And, it was a shit show, first of all. And let me explain to you why it was a shit show. So,
would you say this was, your first,
this was, my first, real festival.
I mean, EDC, this is, the biggest one.
Yeah, it's, I pretty much was, go big or go home. You might as well do your first one, the biggest one.
Right.
It was just, fuck it. Okay, well, first of all, I basically went to EDC for, $500. That's it.
Aren't tickets, alone, $500?
Yeah, let me explain.
Okay, dope. Love where this is going.
So, I, really, didn't plan on going to EDC. So, here's how I went to EDC for so cheap, but still got robbed. Somehow got robbed of all my everything, pretty much. Okay. So, I wasn't originally going to go to EDC, and then I was in this, group chat with a bunch of, rave girls. Because there's this, app called Radiate. Shout out to ravers if you know what that is. It's basically, rave Tinder Facebook, pretty much. You meet people that are going to the same festival as you. You can post shit, And so this is how I got into this group chat. So one girl in this group chat was like, dude.
I just want you to know I've never heard this story before.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm, really into telling you this. So, this girl in this group chat, she's like, these two dudes are getting rid of 2 tickets to EDC for $400 for just the tickets, both of them, $400, both of them. Or $500 and you can stay at the hotel with them. Both of
you, $400.
For the hotel and the ticket, $500. And it was completely legit though. So they sent her the tickets. She sent me mine after she got them. It was kind of those tickets went all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just had to figure out how to get there. And we would go to the hotel. And we would just stay there. And it was going to be all dilly and dally. So I was like, I'm just going to drive. Bet. Because I literally told my grandma a month before I was going to go. I was like, hey, I'm going to EDC. I'm driving, by the way. And she was like, what? And so... Okay, well, I was originally going to go alone. Mm-hmm. But again, on this app, this Radiate app, there was this New Mexico chat, and this girl was like, I need a ride to EDC. And I was like, yo, I'm driving alone. Do you want to come with me? And she was like, yes, please, I really need a ride. So, she was down. And then she was like, hey, one of my friends, also in New Mexico, is going to EDC, and he's, in our group. Can he come with us, too? And I was like, yeah, I'm totally down. And so, when I told my grandma about this, my grandma's kind of an asshole. But like when you think about this, it kind of sounds like an asshole thing, but it like made sense.
She
to my
also
grandma.
did say that I would steal from them. So.
Yeah, she's kind of a dick.
And
she's
I was
just
in
like
Kelsey's room.
Yeah, she's like, what if she steals stuff? And I'm like, she's in the house.
I was like
stealing our shit.
As I'm taking the TV to my car.
You're literally like walking in front of us, picking up the TV. She's all, see you later. She's stealing shit. Okay. So, my grandma came up with the idea. She's like, since you're furnishing the car, why don't they pay for the gas? So this sounds like an asshole thing, but like
completely, especially because your car is so like, it has good gas mileage.
Yes, exactly. So I didn't pay for gas at all. So I pretty much paid, me and this girl split the $500, $250. So I paid $250 to stay in this hotel for my ticket. Didn't pay for gas to get there. I just had to like get there. Oh my god, I should have done little kitty ear, like little whiskers with this. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to EDC and I get a shuttle pass. I think, I remember this actually. So one of the dudes, I was like, I think this was when I wasn't making as much money. So I was like, I have to get the money to get because they have shuttle passes, and they had a shuttle that was literally like right behind our hotel. Mm-hmm. And so, and then it would take you to EDC. And so everyone that we were like in the hotel room had gotten a shuttle pass except for me. And I was like, I have to wait until I make enough money to like get that shuttle pass. And so one of the dudes was like, I'll just buy it for you and you can pay me back. I never paid him back. So I also got a free shuttle pass. I really went to EDC for like probably not even $500. But like it gets worse. So I go to EDC. Like,
back to the part where she gets her karma for not having to pay for shit her whole trip.
Okay, yeah, I guess this is karma, I guess. Like, because everyone's all saving up money to go to fucking EDC. I literally decided that like 2 months, maybe 3 months before EDC that I was going to go to EDC. Like, all I paid for was like my outfits and stuff, pretty much. And like that $250 and yeah. Okay, so here's my karma. Go to EDC. It's a lot of fun. It's day 3. And I'm fucked up. Here's my karma. So my friend is like holding my like fanny pack and backpack, my like water pack, and so so we're going through the crowd. She has my fanny pack. Okay. So then like we stop. She like stops for a second. She kind of like grabs me and she's like, "Do you have your phone?" And I was like, because like I was half naked. It's fucking EDC. And I was like, well, I don't have any fucking pockets, and it's not in my hand, so no. And she was like, I don't have it. And I was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? And so, like, we, like, got more out of the crowd, and she's, like, kind of, like, scounged in my fanny pack, and then we, like, looked in my backpack and stuff, and it just, like, wasn't there. And we kept trying to do, like, where's my iPhone? But, like, I'm stupid, and I didn't know what my fucking, like, thing was for the sign-up.
What?
Like, your
iCloud?
Yeah, like, I
shit?
didn't know which one it was, because I have 2.
Oh.
So I was, like, convinced that it was this one, but it was actually my other one. So that happened. But the worst part about this is that I had this, like, case that held cards, so it had my debit card and my ID in it. So, since I didn't have my phone, I wasn't able, so the people that I came with were in a different hotel than I was. So
you weren't able to get in contact with them.
Yes. But like this is just like so lucky how this all turned out, but like it really could have been a mess. Like I could have had to like call my grandma and be like, please come to Vegas and help me, like I don't know how to leave. So I was trying to, and I didn't like remember their numbers, obviously, because who fucking remembers numbers these days? I was supposed to meet the girl that that was also staying in our room at like 4 in the morning, because EDC goes until like 6.
Right.
And so, but since I had an alarm on my phone, but since I didn't have my phone, like I didn't remember. So I like come back to the hotel. Oh, I forgot this. My shuttle pass and my hotel room key fell out of my fanny pack. So I didn't have those. So when I left EDC, like, was leaving EDC, I went to the shuttles. I was literally, like, so ready to tell the security guard. I was like, dude, I fucking, like, lost my shuttle pass. Like, this is my only ride home because I couldn't get an Uber because I didn't have a phone. I didn't have my debit card, so it was just, like, a mess. And I'm, like, going up to this dude ready to fucking explain. And he's like, just go. And I'm like, thank fucking God.
No.
I would have just, like, cried. I'd be like...
He probably saw, like, the distress on your
Honestly.
face and probably was
And it was
like...
the last day. It was the last day. So he was probably like, come
he's
on,
probably,
it's
like,
over.
this shit. He was like,
He's
let's
like, whatever.
go.
I don't care who you are or even if you have a shuttle pass. Just get out of here.
Just leave. Leave now.
Yeah, so I lost my shuttle pass. So I got lucky and was able to still get on my shuttle. Go back to my room, and I'm just, like, banging on the door. Like, I'm just like, someone's gonna be in there, like, please. And likely there was someone in there. And so it's the girl that I was supposed to meet. She's like, where have you been? I was like, I lost my phone! And I'm, like, all distressed as fuck. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm like, dude, like, can I call my grandma or something? Like, I need to, like, tell her that, my life is a mess right now. I'm calling her and calling her and calling her, and finally, like, she finally fucking answered. I need you to call the bank, tell them to shut my card off. And then I was like, and then can you call, like, AT&T to set up the insurance claim so I can get my phone, like, ASAP. So here, I got really lucky, and he had an extra phone, so I just logged on to my Snapchat and was like, like, calling them like a crackhead trying to get crack.
AKA them.
AKA them. And so, finally they answer, and I, like, tell them the whole situation. I'm like, dude, like, I lost my phone. I'm, like...
And, like, lucky enough, like, good thing that they did pay for gas and shit, because you didn't have a debit card.
Yeah, I didn't have money. I didn't even have cash, because I spent it all. All the cash I had, which was, like, $20, really. So, yeah, like, there was so many things that could have went wrong that weekend, but, like, it went kind of right, but not right. But, yeah, so I finally got them. Well, first of all, I told the girl, I was like, dude, I'm hungover. And I didn't have my ID. So I tell this girl that I come with, I'm like, dude, I'm hungover. I don't have my driver's license. Like, honestly, I think you should drive. And I hadn't slept at all, obviously. I'd been at EDC all night. And then I just been, like, rustling around trying to, like, do things. So I was exhausted. And, like, honestly, the whole weekend of EDC, I was exhausted. Like, the last day I didn't even put I put, like, eyeshadow on. And I was like, I'm not even going to try. So I was exhausted. And I was just like, can you just drive for me? And she was like, yeah, of course. So I literally...
Wow, my makeup's done.
It's okay, you can listen to my story.
Yeah, and then I can tell my story about why I left my Europe trip early.
Oh, snap. I didn't even know you went to Europe.
Yeah, so I can tell you about that, too.
I'm like, I need you to drive. And she's like, okay, bet. And I literally slept in the car all 8 hours it took to drive from Vegas to Albuquerque. And then I went home and slept all night and the next day.
Damn.
I was so exhausted. But, yeah, that's how I fucking...
got robbed at EDC. And basically got, like, lucky that, like, nothing else happened. Lucky. Yeah, like, that trip you were basically lucky the whole entire trip.
Because I got, like, pretty much, like, half price ticket.
Yeah.
Plus a hotel for pretty much free.
Yeah. I went to London and Ireland in the summer of 2016. I had just turned 20 that February. I was going with a girl that I worked with at Hot Dog and a Stick and I'd known for a while. A little backstory. This was when PJ was Wild Party Girl PJ. So everyone knew me as like a party girl and knew that like I liked to get crazy. So my bad. And so, like, me and this friend that I was, like, going with, it was kind of like I basically invited myself along because I really wanted to go to Europe, and she was, like, planning it, and I was like, dude, like, that'd be so cool, and basically we were just like, fuck it, and I was like, I'm coming, and she was like, alright.
Okay.
So, we started planning this trip. We had a friend that we also had worked with at Hot Dog and a Stick who was, staying in Spain for a study abroad program. So we were our end goal was gonna be to get to Spain. So we were flying into London because it was cheaper, and I was like, you know what, like, why don't we stay in London a few days? And then I was like, fuck it, like, let's add like another country on there, because she was doing a whole like summer in Europe. I was only doing 2 weeks because I was managing at Hot Dog, so I could only be away for so long. And so she we decided to do Ireland as well. And Dean was going to meet us in Ireland because she had never been, or she wanted to go, and then we were going to all go back to Spain together. So me and this girl had a really complicated friendship, and before we were going on this trip, she was very worried about my behaviors on this trip, being as, like, she didn't want it to be, like, a non-stop party and thought that that's what I was
A whole new world.
gonna do because I could legally drink over there. And I was like, I can understand where you're coming from because I was wild as shit at that time, but I really genuinely, like, was very excited to go on this trip and experience, like, London. I'm obsessed with England, so I was super excited. And so we kind of had some miscommunications about that before our trip, and kind of were, like, going in with weird tensions the whole trip. So it's time to go. It's my first time doing any international travel as well. And so her attitude this whole time is that I am a huge burden on her and that I'm going to be, like, basically relying on her solely, especially because I'm the only one who didn't speak Spanish. So when we went to Spain, I was going to rely on them to translate for me. And she was not happy. But I also held my own very well. I did fine traveling internationally. Like, I was a little, like, I have anxiety, and, like, when I'm not always in control 24/7 and everything's planned out perfectly and I don't know the answer to, like, all of, like, the plan, like, I freak out. And so it's time to go. We're, like, excited, and we're starting to go out there, and we fly out to London. And, like, honestly, like, in London, the first, like, day, we had a blast. I mean, I had so much fun with her. We got there, and we figured out how to get there right away. We just started using what they call the tube, their subway system. And we went to our hostel. We couldn't, like, check into, like, our hostel room, whatever, until, like, a certain time. So they let us put our bags there, and then we were like, let's just go walk around. Okay, we're jet lagged AF because we left at, like, 1 o'clock our time, and then got there at, like, 10 a.m. their time. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the afternoon our time, and got there, like, 10 a.m. like, their time. And I didn't sleep at all on the plane. It was, like, my first it was, like, a 8-hour flight. We, like, flew into Atlanta, so it was 4 and then 8. It was, like, my first, like, flight like that in a really long time. Like, I hadn't flown since I was, like, 10. And I had this bitch talking my ear off the whole entire time. And then I had this fucking couple that was, like, falling asleep on me. And I was just so uncomfortable. And I'd also been into a car accident in that fall, so my back was really fucked up, so I was not comfortable by any means. So we get there, and we just start walking around, and we were hungry, so we, like, stop at this restaurant, and we get some food, and then we get this tea, and it was, like, in a teapot, but it was, like, alcoholic. Like, there was alcohol in it. And so, like, we split the teapot, like, between us two, and, like, we're feeling kind of buzzed. And then we get another one. We were fucked up, like, so drunk. And so we just start walking around, and we literally, like, walked from our hostel in South Kensington all the way to, like, central London. Like, just walked that whole afternoon. And I mean, it was fun. I had fun. We just got super drunk, whatever. One of her friends lived in London, so we met up with him and got drinks with him and his girlfriend and her friend, and got really drunk at, like, these pubs. That's what we did that night, which was really cool. Had a good time. We both had a lot of fun. We both got really fucking drunk. And then we went back to the hostel, passed out. And the next day we were just going to go sightseeing, do whatever. We're only staying in London for, like, 3 days. The next day we would be leaving to go to Ireland. So we're trying to cram in as much as possible. And then we went to, like, Buckingham Palace. But, okay, this is the part of the story that fucking irritates the shit out of me, okay? I do not know how to pack for international things. I've never internationally traveled, and I also wanted to look cute as fuck while I was in Europe. Like, why wouldn't I? Okay? So I brought a bigger suitcase, but I only brought one. And I was also packing for 2 different climates. I was packing for being in London and Ireland when it's still kind of cool and I needed jeans and long sleeve shirts and a jacket, to going to Spain where it was summer and I needed summer clothes. So I packed a pretty big suitcase, not gonna lie. I mean, it wasn't the biggest. It could have been a lot bigger. I was very proud of myself. And she gave me so much shit for it because it was honestly heavy as fuck when we were on, like, the tube and shit. But I mean, that's the only time we ever had to deal with it, was when we were, like, traveling. And I never complained. I never was like, oh my god, my suitcase is so heavy. I bucked it the fuck up because I didn't want to listen to her. This bitch. I was warm and content because I brought the proper clothing with me to London, and I didn't need to buy anything. We literally spent the whole day looking for a fucking jacket for this bitch. So we look for a jacket for this bitch basically the whole day and don't even really get to see a lot of things. I mean, I got to see Buckingham Palace and like we walked around basically is all we did and look for a jacket for her. So it was beyond, and she wanted to find some fucking house that was in a movie that she saw, like Notting
Hill?
Yes. That's where we went to find this fucking house and walked around like probably all day. I was fucking exhausted and I was so irritated. And we're both texting our mutual friend like back and forth who is in another country as well. She's visiting her family. So
my brow look?
I was very irritated with her at this point. It looks really good. And that night we didn't really like talk to anyone in our hostel the like nights before because it was like really weird people. Like people, like a lot of French people, and they're kind of snobby, so we didn't really talk to anyone. But then the second night that we were there, these two girls from Chicago, I think, were there. They were super friendly, and this other American was there. I don't remember where he was from, but he was traveling by himself. We're all staying like in like a community hostel. So a community hostel is literally a room, just a bunch of bunk beds, and that's what we were all staying in together. So we decided to all go out and do a pub crawl. But we met these guys, they were friends, we ended up staying out basically all night. I was very frustrated because it was not that I wanted to stay out all night, so I was not the one acting wild and drunk and crazy on this trip, she was.
Oh my god.
Which was irritating.
What if you...
They end up closing the tube at a certain time, like, so we couldn't get back to our hostel. And we had a flight that we had to catch. We basically had to go to the hostel, get our shit, and, like, go, like, on a train. We had to go to a train station to get to the other airport that we were flying out of and fly there. And so we basically did this by the time we got back to our hostel off of like an hour of sleep. We didn't get to shower, didn't get to do anything, like literally just threw our shit and we're like going. And so I was not feeling like, I mean, didn't really get hungover there, but I was like not feeling great. I was tired, like I was like fucking irritated. And so we make it there, and I was the one who got us everywhere. I was the one who, like, found what bus stop that we needed to go at when we were getting to our hostel in Ireland. Like, I was the one who took the reins on this because Drunky McDrunkerson over here was a little hungover.
It sounds like you're talking about me.
I know, but I'm talking about a different girl. And so, we get there, we meet up with our other friend. They were a lot closer than I was, like, with them. Like, I knew we were cool with each other, but, like, we were not, like, besties. They talked literally almost all day, every day. Like, their families were friends. They were very close. So, yes, I was feeling very third wheelish, but like I really didn't care. I was beyond exhausted, and I was like, I don't really give a fuck. So that night, we went out to a pub, got some dinner. They just like talked basically the whole entire time. I think I maybe said like one or two things. We went back to the hostel, and we just went to sleep. We were all so tired from like traveling. I guess we all went to bed, and then the next day we were going to go toward the Jameson distillery, and we wanted to Guinness as well. We were staying in Dublin, and this trip was not planned out very well, if we're being honest. It was a complete and total shit show. We had no idea what we were doing during the day. Like, so they wanted to go to Jameson. We got our tickets there, and we had to wait like an hour, and we decided we were going to go walk to Guinness, which was like a fucking 2 miles away, and the line to get tickets at Guinness were around the block. So I was like, we will not have time to stand in this line, get our tickets, and make it back to Jameson to, like, do that, like, tour. And I really wanted to do it. I was like, why would we waste our time, like, our money, like, and not do this tour? Like, we can always come back and do Guinness, like, later in the day or tomorrow. Like, we can buy our tickets online, do it later today, like, something. I was thinking logically, okay? And so we go back to Jameson, and we do that tour, and, like, they just, like, did not seem like they were having a good time. Like, none of them, like, really drank, like, whiskey or anything. But homegirl over here was like, since I'm third wheeling, like, nobody's business, literally, like, just like them two walking and me walking behind them, literally the whole day, I was like, I'm just gonna get super fucked up since I'm bored as shit. So I drank, we got free drink passes. They give us 3 shots of, like, whiskey while you're in there. I took those. I took their free drink passes, so I had 3 drinks to myself, so I was feeling pretty fucking good. And we decided to go out that night. So we get back to the hostel, and at this point, well, we go to a pub, and we're all drinking. We get really fucked up there, and we were, like, watching soccer game because they're super into soccer. And then we go back to the hostel to get ready to go out that night. We were all getting along and having a really good time at this point because, like, we're all, like, drinking. We're gonna go out, have a good time. We're all helping each other, like, do makeup, like, whatever. And so we decide to do a pub crawl again, which are super popular out there. And we go on this pub crawl. We're all really drunk. And we specifically chose this group because we thought this pub crawl leader was cute.
Me.
And so we went on this pub crawl. I get extremely drunk. I have the pub crawl leader buying me drinks because they're off doing whatever they're doing. And I also have the bartender buying me drinks. So I am very drunk. And I was just asking a lot of, like, the local, like, the pub crawl leader and the bartender, like, what things to do were, because we had a whole other date. And, like, I wanted to go and see, like, the countryside and see different, like, non-touristy side of Ireland. So I was trying to get information from them. But that's not how one of the girls depicted it as. She thought I was flirting with him. She was mad because she liked him. And so she was not having me at all then. We're in a club and it's like 3 stories high. And they're having to basically, like, tell me, like, where to go and what to do. And so one of the girls tells me to sit down. She's going to go find the other girl because we kind of lost her in the crowd. And I'm, like, sitting there for a good while. Probably, like, felt longer than it was because I was very drunk. But I, like, started to panic that, like, I couldn't find them. I'm alone in this bar. I'm in a foreign country, and I cannot find my friends. And, like, these dudes are coming up to me, so I was just, like, freaking out. And so I find them outside, smoking a cigarette, talking to a group of dudes. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? My whole point was, all you had to do is be like, hey, I found you. I'm gonna go grab PJ, bring her outside so she knows where we are, and you guys can continue to talk to them. Like, I was too fucked up to even try to have a conversation with the dude at this point in time, so I didn't even care. But they didn't see it like that. They said I was being over dramatic. We start fighting. We start going, they're like, we need to take you home, like, you're so fucked up. And, like, I was very drunk, but I also was not, like, drunk to where, like, I couldn't, like, be out in public. And I was just making it seem because I was getting mad at them, and, like, they weren't seeing my point as, like, to why I was scared. And so we're going back to the hostel. I'm walking ahead of them. They're walking behind me. And I just hear them talking shit the whole entire time. And I was just like, fuck this. Like, I'm over this. So I go back into the hostel and they leave. And they go back out. And I just lost it. I called my best friend. I was a crying mess. I was like, I don't want to be here. I feel super unwelcome. I'm just third wheeling. Like, just a mess. And so she was like, you need to call your mom. Like, you need to, like, come home and figure out how to come home and call your mom. So I call my mom. It's, like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon her time. I'm all fucked up. And I'm like, Mom, like, they left me alone in a bar, like, freaking out, like, telling her how drunk I am, like, telling her they're being mean to me and that I don't want to be here. Well, they were. They were being, like, super, like, treating me like I was just, like, I know, right? An inconvenience. And so my mom, I don't know how I managed to do this considering my state of mind and how drunk I was, but I managed to change my flight that I was supposed to be flying out of London a week later to, like, that following Monday. It was, like, a weekend. And I managed to get a flight back to London from Ireland all within, like, a few hours, like, drunk as shit by myself. I was like, I don't know how I even did this. So the next morning, I had my flight, everything all put on my suitcase. They come home, they see it, I know they see it, like, they don't say anything. I get up, I take a shower, I pack all of my shit, and I leave. And I literally made eye contact with one of the girls, and she sees me take my shit and leave. And I don't hear from them until later that night when I'm already in London by myself. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it took you this long to realize, like, she's not coming back.
What did they say?
One of them texted me and was like, hey, where are you?
My God!
And I was like, I'm in London. I'm going home. And she was like, you just can't leave like that. We've been freaking out, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, really? Because I've gotten no calls, no texts, like, nothing from you guys. You haven't even tried to talk to me all day. I just got myself home from Europe by myself, and I didn't go to Spain with them. I didn't talk to those girls for the longest time. It destroyed our friendships and destroyed my trip to Europe. So that's what happened.
I think we're going to post a blog later this week, a vlog later this week, because I'm taking PJ to her first show. It's just at El Rey in Albuquerque, so it's, like, not that big of a deal, but it's, like, a big deal.
It's also my birthday week, so she's taking me out for
my
birthday
to beautiful PJ, who see you guys next week. Don't forget to like,
comment, subscribe. Turn on our notifications.
Yes, if you want to know when we're posting, especially because we're gonna try to be posting more things during the week. Then if you love us that much, you know,
which we all know you do.
Obviously. So like, now that we don't look like turds anymore.
Yeah, that was pretty rough at the beginning of the video.
Let's go fucking eat.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay, bye.